This video was brought to you by iDetchoudê Media. In today's video, we are going to talk about Kalala Omutunda.
Je suis allé manger une fois chez un Chinois et en discutant avec ce Chinois qui était quelqu'un de vieux, je lui dis mais c'est quand même surprenant que les Chinois ne cherchent pas à être plus présents dans les grands médias français. Et il m'explique qu'en fait, les Chinois ne cherchent pas à être présents dans les grands médias français parce que si un Chinois est à la télévision, il faut qu'il parle chinois et qu'il dise aux Chinois ce qui se passe en Chine. Et en prenant les chaînes câblées, il m'a montré en fait que les Chinois en pleine chaîne de télévision, on parle chinois. Et il a fait venir son fils et il a demandé à son fils qu'est-ce qu'on dit dans cette chaîne de télévision. Et le fils lui a dit papa, là on dit que à Shanghai c'est la météo et qu'il va faire beau cet après-midi. Et il me dit vous voyez, quand un Chinois est à la télévision, non seulement ça permet à un enfant chinois qui n'est pas en Chine, de travailler la langue, mais en plus il sait ce qui se passe en Chine.
Who was a Guadeloupean writer, Egyptologist, which is a study all the aspects of ancient Egypt across periods from about 7000 BC to the early Middle Ages, and a specialist in classical African mathematics. He founded the Enijart Institute of African History based in Guadeloupe, as well as satellite institutes in Canada, Guyana, Martinique, and Haiti. Via his institute, Omutunda worked tirelessly to empower Africans, particularly the black youth in the diaspora, and beyond by teaching African history, origin, and ancestors. Omutunda was also a project manager at UNESCO and was influenced by Cheikh Anta Diop. Omutunda earned a degree from the École de Publicité de Paris and became a teacher at the Institut Africameat.
Une chose qui est cachée, c'est que c'était les Noirs qui vivaient en Italie avant, et c'est ça qui fait la différence civilisationnelle entre les Grecs et les Romains. C'était pas le même apport en termes de souche. Maintenant, il y a une chose que je voudrais souligner, c'est que vous comprenez que cette notion d'écriture va donner lieu au premier texte sacré, ce qu'on appelle, je dirais, la Bible aujourd'hui. Mais la Bible, c'est un mot qui va être inventé au 5e siècle. C'est-à-dire, en moins 500, les Grecs vont arriver en Afrique, vont voir nos textes sacrés écrits sur papyrus, et ils vont appeler ça Biblus. Et lorsque les pères de l'Église, c'est-à-dire Alexandre d'Alexandrie, c'est l'Afrique, Clément d'Alexandrie, c'est l'Afrique, Origène d'Alexandrie, et ça je pourrais rester longtemps, parce que beaucoup de pères de l'Église étaient africains, quand ils ont traduit les textes sacrés, donc africains, dans leur langue, ben, ils ont gardé le mot Bible. Mais nous on disait Medou Netcher, ça veut dire Medou, les paroles, Netcher, Dieu, donc les paroles de Dieu.
He made an appearance at the UNESCO event, Africa Week, on 22 May 2017, with the theme Investing in African Youth through Mathematics. Omutunda rejected his French name to affirm his African roots, taking the name Nyasis R. Kalala Omutunda, with Egyptian and Congolese roots. In December 2000, the Regional Council of l'Île-de-France paid Street Spirit Culture €650,000 to organize a hip-hop World Cup in Paris. Now, let us watch one of Kalala Omutunda's teachings. In this clip, you'll see how he brings African history to life in a simple and powerful way. His lessons were always full of passion and inspired many to take pride in their African roots. His goal was to show the greatness of African civilizations, making history something everyone could connect with and understand. Let's dive in and experience a part of his remarkable teaching journey.
Je me retourne vers les enfants, je dis aux enfants, est-ce que vous avez déjà vu la publicité où la reine Néfertari prend son bain? Les enfants me disent oui. Et je dis, quelle est la particularité de l'eau? Les enfants me disent, mais c'est du lait. J'ai dit, tu vois, regarde comment tu viens de dire quelque chose et regarde comment tu te ridiculises devant tes camarades. Et je lui dis, regarde encore un deuxième problème. Quand on a découvert le tombeau de Toutankhamon, est-ce que tu connais le nombre de paires de chaussures qu'on a trouvées dans le tombeau? Parce que la paire de chaussures, la sandale tchébout, c'est une invention de l'Afrique. Les gens ne marchaient pas pieds nus. Le pied nu, c'est quand tu fais un rituel. Si vous regardez les stèles, on est dans le cadre d'un rituel. Effectivement, le roi, la divinité, tout le monde est pieds nus. Mais les gens ont des chaussures en or, qu'on vous montre même pas, avec des styles, machin, même les babouches c'est une invention de l'Égypte antique. Il faut savoir qu'Europe était une femme africaine, parce que son père et sa mère sont nés en Afrique. Et le frère d'Europe, qui est Cadmos, c'est lui qui a porté l'écriture en Europe à l'époque où il y avait des Noirs qui vivaient là. Et il y a des études ADN qui ont démontré qu'avant, il y avait des Noirs qui vivaient en Europe, puisque les personnes d'ascendance caucasienne venaient du Caucase, c'est-à-dire de la Russie. Et ils ont envahi l'Europe au milieu du 2e millénaire, au moment où on était en train d'amener cette écriture, donc africaine, en Europe. Cadmos a créé en Europe la cité de Thèbes. Thèbes se trouve en Afrique et c'est la cité où il est né. Cadmos est né à Thèbes de l'aveu des historiens grecs. Et c'est pour ça qu'il a créé la ville de Thèbes en Europe. Mais parce qu'il était parti à la recherche de sa sœur, voilà que finalement ce continent va porter le nom de cette femme noire qu'on dépeint aujourd'hui comme blonde aux yeux bleus, alors qu'Europe n'a jamais été blonde aux yeux bleus. Quand on vous dit que Jésus est venu sauver l'humanité, le problème c'est qu'il y a avant et après lui. Donc qu'est-ce qu'on fait des gens qui étaient avant ? Puisque s'il est venu pour sauver tout le monde, il aurait dû arriver avant tout le monde. Et là, c'est le cas justement de la théologie africaine. Parce que dans la théologie africaine, on a ce Fils de Dieu qui arrive, mais qui prépare les conditions existentielles de toutes les formes de vie. Donc, quand on dit la notion de l'immortalité, mais les Africains considéraient cette immortalité comme étant transversale dans le processus de la nature. C'est-à-dire que le principe, c'est de dire que c'est pas le fait de créer une forme de vie, mais il faut à boire, il faut à manger, et il y a toute une liste de vitamines qu'il faut pour que cette vie soit équilibrée. Donc il faut créer les conditions existentielles de tout cela. Ah ben voilà pourquoi, chaque fois qu'on parle de l'origine de la notion de la vie éternelle, on commence en Afrique. Pourquoi quand on parle de l'histoire de l'esclavage, on fait croire aux gens qu'on a sorti du continent africain 15 millions d'abrutis? Le problème, c'est pas que le fait qu'on fasse quoi, qu'on a sorti 15 millions d'abrutis, c'est comment nous, descendants d'Africains déportés, nous nous sommes laissés berner au point de croire que les Africains qu'on a sortis du continent, c'était 15 millions d'abrutis. Est-ce que vous voyez l'affaire? Quand vous prenez le temps de voir toutes les plus grandes découvertes faites dans la Caraïbe, en Amérique et autres, mais c'est les Noirs qui sont à l'origine de tout ça. Pourquoi on a fait des lois interdisant aux esclaves de déposer des brevets, en disant que le brevet étant un contrat entre le citoyen et le pays et la nation, comme l'esclave n'est pas citoyen, il ne peut pas contracter avec la nation. Mais il y a des lois, il y a des textes, il y a des choses qui prouvent que, effectivement, très tôt, les Noirs ont commencé à innover. Je suis allé manger une fois chez un Chinois. Et en discutant avec ce Chinois, qui était quelqu'un de vieux, je lui dis, mais c'est quand même surprenant que les Chinois ne cherchent pas à être plus présents dans les grands médias français. Et il m'explique qu'en fait, les Chinois ne cherchent pas à être présents dans les grands médias français, parce que si un Chinois est à la télévision, il faut qu'il parle chinois et qu'il dise aux Chinois ce qui se passe en Chine. Et en prenant les chaînes câblées, il m'a montré en fait que les Chinois en pleine chaîne de télévision, on parle chinois. Et il a fait venir son fils et il a demandé à son fils qu'est-ce qu'on dit dans cette chaîne de télévision. Et le fils lui a dit, papa, là, on dit que à Shanghai, c'est la météo et qu'il va faire beau cet après-midi. Et il me dit, vous voyez, quand un Chinois est à la télévision, non seulement ça permet à un enfant chinois qui n'est pas en Chine, de travailler la langue, mais en plus il sait ce qui se passe en Chine.
As we come to the end of this video, we hope you've gained insight into Kalala Omotunde's profound impact through his teaching, his dedication to sharing African history, and empowering the African diaspora continues to inspire many around the world. His legacy lives on through his lessons, reminding us of the importance of understanding and celebrating African heritage. Thank you for watching, and we encourage you to explore more of his work to continue learning from his powerful teachings.
And finally, Neuro.
Okay, Bill Maher. Political satire.
And finally, Neuro.
Political satire. I'm not a cheater. All right, let's see. What is the game? Serious one?
iDetchoudê clients for 100 qualified appointments. That is what I can deliver for you.
Oh, come on.
You can step right over here. Grab it. We're going to grab a basket, 2 hands. Wheel. I'm going to burn yourself. Up, down a little bit further. There you go. And then we're going to hit our fry timer right here. Then you can step right over here. Grab it. We're going to grab a basket, 2 hands. You can step right over here. Grab it. We're going to grab a basket.
So I'm working at McDonald, huh?
And then you can go right into here on the left. Yep, slowly, right here. Slowly, gently lower it into the oil. Don't want to burn yourself. Up, down a little bit further. There you go. And then we're going to hit our fry timer right here. That one's going good. Now we can drop another one too. So we'll grab one more basket, 2 hands. Yep. We're going to put it right here.
I don't know.
Yep. Lower it slowly into the oil. Don't want to burn. Good. And then we're just going to hit our fry timer right here.
Right there.
Now we're waiting for that duty timer. So now when that duty timer comes up, again, hit the timer, take it out the oil slowly, give it a little shake so that way it don't get sucked together, and then lower it back into the oil.
Okay.
So this one will probably go off before anybody else. Oh, there we go. Yep, you're good. You got it. So now lift it out of the oil. 2 hands. Then shake, and then slowly back into the oil, and that's good. Good job. And then we got another one going off. So duty timer right here. We'll hit that button. Good. And then out the oil. Shake. And then back into the oil. Very nice. And then our last one is going to go off. I'm going to give that a few seconds. I'm going to make a few more fries. So we got some.
Yeah, let's make some more. Got about 10,000 people out there. That's a big crowd, huh?
10,000 people.
I love McDonald's. I love jobs. I like to see good jobs. And I think it's
I mean, I'm
inappropriate
sorry,
when
but
somebody
McDonald's
puts down.
jobs aren't good jobs. Let's face it, okay? McDonald's jobs are not good jobs. Let's make very clear. Okay. Uh,
All over the place that she worked at McDonald's. It was a big part of her resume that she worked at McDonald's, how tough a job it was. She specifically worked at the French fry, where they make the French fries, and she talked about the heat. It was so tough. She never worked at McDonald's. McDonald's just confirmed that again, by the way. She never worked at McDonald's. In other words, she's lying, Kamala.
Lying Kamala.
It's a great setup, huh?
Donald
So what's the second?
Trump went to McDonald's to make a point, right? Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
Second handle for a lefty?
Exactly.
If that's, so you have lefties that are ahead of that.
Exactly, yes. And then also sometimes when you have no salt fries, you rather if you're right-handed, you grab the hand on the left, pour it onto there.
That's where you're busy, huh?
Exactly, yes. So this one's about to be done. 20 seconds on that one. When that one's up, we're gonna once it starts beeping, we'll say pull. We're gonna hit the pull timer.
Okay.
We're gonna lift it out of the oil. We're gonna hook it onto here.
Right.
Lift the handle up to let it drain. Give it like 10 seconds. Once it's done draining, we're gonna bring it over to the left side. Put it into there.
Okay.
Salt, and then.
Can they have some? Looks good.
Are you living in Hudson County and thinking about selling your home? Well, I have a great story for you. This year, I helped my
Hello, how are you? What a beautiful woman. Look at that beautiful child. The whole, it's like the perfect looking person. That's good. That's your compliment. Thank you, darling. Thank you. Hi, Mom. Look at Mom over there. Thank you very much. Thank you, darling. You have a great mom? Good or great? That's right. She knew what to say. Thank you very much. Thank you, darling. Wow, so nice.
All right, you're doing a good job.
Okay, these are nice people we're meeting here.
Yes, and this is for him. So your hands won't be
Okay.
too heavy.
Got it. Larry, look at this guy. I'm not going to mess with him. Huh?
How you doing,
You
sir?
look fantastic. Hello.
My new baby boy.
How are you? Your new baby. How are you?
Doing great.
How are you? So this is compliments of me, okay?
All right.
You go have a
Thank
good
you.
time. Don't eat too much,
I
right?
will. You have a great day, sir.
Thank you, man. You take care. Thank you, honey. Have a good time. Thank you. Excuse. This is fun. I could do this all day. I wouldn't mind this job. I like this job. I think I might come back and do it again.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Look at that. Look at
you would mind.
Thank you,
It's-
Mr. President.
Nice to see you. Hi, darling. How are you?
You made it possible for ordinary people like us to meet.
You're not
I
ordinary.
mean, thank you so much.
You are
for
not
everything
ordinary.
you're
I
doing.
can see.
We pray for you,
Thank you very
and you are the type of person we want to be the president.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you so much.
So nice. Thank
Thank
you
you.
very much. Yeah, I took a bullet. That's right. I
Thank you,
guess.
Mr. President.
When you think about it, I guess that's right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So,
Beautiful
one
wife.
picture?
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
Thank you so.
Thank you
Have a
very
good day.
much. Great honor. Have fun. Isn't that nice?
This will be your next order, the next order.
Both of them? Okay. Hello, everybody. I'm having a lot of fun here, everybody. Look at the fake. Look at all the fake news over there. Hello, everybody.
You can fake this,
And
right?
you know this is compliments of Trump. Okay.
Yes, thank
Okay.
you. Mr. President,
Yes.
please don't let the United States become Brazil, my native Brazil.
Oh, we'll keep it
Please,
good.
Please, please.
We're gonna make it better than ever. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, darling.
Thank you. It's a pleasure, Mr. President.
Compliments of Trump.
Yes.
Have a good time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you over there. How you doing?
Thank you.
Have a good time.
Thank
Nice
you.
to see
You
you.
too, Mr.
Bye,
President.
darling. Have a good time. Thank you, honey.
Great again.
How good are these people?
Did you order anything yourself?
I'm gonna take plenty. I'm gonna definitely have French fries for the plane. Have you seen the people over there? That is thousands of miles back. The game. Two in a bag, yeah. Two in a bag. Pennsylvania, 500,000 jobs, and
All right.
so thank you. Thank you all very much. He's 60.
Motorcade? Out? Motorcade?
Yes.
Okay.
Right this way.
Okay. Phase end. Donald Trump working at McDonald. Let's see.
Freeberg's channeling Tim Walz over there.
I know. Wow, he's as exciting as Tim Walz.
Got your flannel on. Do you know what a venture capitalist is, Freeberg?
Oh, he's shilling super gut.
Well, as of last week, when
good.
JCal decided to turn All In into a commercial, I was actually going to do a Supergut background. We're launching Supergut nationwide in Target this week. Any Target in the United States you can go into and pick up Supergut. You can buy the GLP-1 booster. You can buy the prebiotic shake.
I have that actually. Is that the chocolate? Or do you
It
have
is
the
the
mocha?
chocolate.
I mean, I like
This
the
one's
mocha.
chocolate.
Okay. Mocha's good too. All right. Let's
Well,
get
thanks
started.
for the support, JCal. I appreciate
Of course, of course, of course.
We're cutting all this out.
No way. This is why I do this.
Next time, plug a company I have a stake in. Let your winners ride.
Rain Man gave it time.
We open source it to the fans. And
You can watch live. Sax will be
we're
hosting.
doing that.
We're doing it. You're hosting it. Your team said you're doing it. And so you'll either get to see.
Are you not going to Mar-a-Lago, Sax?
Well, if things continue to look good for Trump, I might go to Mar-a-Lago. I might.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
well,
you're a
then you
maybe.
come
Let's
in
not
remote.
commit Sax. You're a maybe. If you
No,
go to
Sax will
Mar-a-Lago,
go.
you're excused.
I can
Okay.
live stream from Mar-a-Lago.
Live
that would
from
be
Mar-a-Lago.
amazing.
Absolutely.
That'd be amazing.
I'll go to Mar-a-Lago. That'd be fun. Yeah, if it looks good, I'll go. So maybe that's
just go. Jason's like, I'll just go.
5th. Of course, I'm invited. I talked to Jared.
I mean, if
Jared
things look
Kushner.
as good as they do right now, then I think I'm going to have to go to Mar-a-Lago.
I think we should all be in Mar-a-Lago. Yeah.
It's
That'd
going to
be
be a
cool.
unique experience.
Oh my God! Can you imagine being in Mar-a-Lago and he loses? Oh my God!
Well, that's why I
That
don't
would
want to
be
go.
dark.
Unless this
Yeah.
thing is in the bag. It's got to be too
Exactly.
big to rig. If it's too big to rig, I'm going to Mar-a-Lago.
Too big to.
Do you guys think Polymarket is like, why do you think it's different from the polls? Are we talking about this today? Polymarket's showing like 60-40 or 65-35 now, right?
Yeah,
It
because they're
is-
measuring different things. I've explained this before. Polymarket is people betting on the outcome. So 58% think Trump's going to win. Whereas the polls in a particular state show the percentage of how each person's going to vote. So if for sure you knew the election was 51-49, the betting markets would swing to 100-0.
But let me ask you this. So Nate Silver's model, which takes the poll from each state and builds in a kind of a Monte
Super
Carlo
poll.
of,
Yeah.
super poll, like a supermodel for the whole country. Why is his estimate 50-50 right now while the Polymarket is betting at 60-40?
It's possible he's laggy in his estimates.
Got it.
On the betting markets. The betting markets seem to go based on momentum. So it indicates the swing in momentum. And then the
How do you think
polls
things are
obviously
going to? How do you
take a
think they're
week or
going to
two.
change after the interviews the last couple of days? Trump on Bloomberg and Kamala on Fox. Do you think those are going to change anything?
I don't think so. I think it's all baked in now.
Well, Trump over the past few weeks seems to have had a surge owing to the fact that Kamala's interviews generally don't go well. So I think she started off a little behind, started doing interviews to catch up, and now she's a lot behind. I don't think the Brett Baier interview is going to help her.
Well, let me ask you this. So my observation as, I don't know, I'm not like a super political person or whatever, a party oriented person. I looked at a lot of the media on both sides, and it seems like everyone on the left says Kamala did an amazing job on Fox. She defended herself. She showed her skills and her competency. And then everyone on the right's like, she embarrassed herself. She fell apart. And then the same thing happened with the Trump interview on Bloomberg. People are like, on the left, they say, look at how he couldn't handle the interviewer and he fell apart and all his lies were exposed. And everyone on the right's like, look at him, he got a standing ovation. It's almost like everyone's just kind of like self-asserting their beliefs that they already hold when they judge these people on these interview shows at this point. Is Is it already baked at this point? Like, is anyone actually going to change their view based on these interviews happening?
Well, the question is what appeals to that small sliver of independence.
Yeah.
The question I would ask back to you is, if the Brett Baier interview was going so well for Kamala, why was her staff on the sidelines waving to try and end the interview? They had like 4 people,
who
waving
reported that?
and trying to cut the interview off.
Who said
Brett
that
Baier
was the
said
case?
it.
He did.
Brett Baier
He
said it. So
yeah,
it was like in Rocky 4 when Apollo Creed's corner is like yelling, "Throw in the damn towel! Throw in the damn towel!"
All right, our boy Elon had a big week. Tesla unveiled 2 new concepts at its We Robot event, and Elon caught a 23-story rocket, the Starship. Here's the Robo Taxi and the Robo Bus. Both of them look really awesome. And he caught one of the I think this is the 5th Starship or the 4th launch.
5th.
Oh,
the 5th,
God,
right?
so
and then
incredible.
Look at this.
It's so incredible.
Unbelievable. It's like chopsticks catching
Forget
a
about whatever
23-story
your
building.
issues are with Elon and his politics, just to appreciate, and we can talk about why this is so important in the segment. But technically, the achievement of this like skyscraper falling out of the sky and perfectly aligning itself to go into that chopstick catching device, it is an absolute marvel of human ingenuity. I mean, and the work and the effort that people put into this over several decades. It's just such an incredible feat. Look at this thing. I don't know if you guys were as emotionally moved by this as I was. I thought it was incredible.
It was incredible. I think I probably watched this 100 times.
Totally. From every angle.
Every angle.
And so the reason this is so important is because these things cost a lot of money. And when they land here, you can clean them up. And I guess his goal is to have them take off again after he fills them with propellant an hour later, Freeberg. So on a science basis, this is extraordinary. What if this works and you can start lifting
to be more
these rockets
specific,
up,
you don't want it to have feet. A, it's heavy, and then B, you have to lift them up in a way that just complicates the entire refueling and cycle time process. So by catching it, you put it right back into place and just go again.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Right, you just catch it and go again.
I can kind of walk through these numbers. So obviously the big objective over time is how cheap can you get it to put material into space. We need a lot of material to go into space if we're going to do things in space, particularly if we're going to go build a colony on Mars. And so this shows you over time the cost per kilogram, which is the key metric in this industry, to launch material into low Earth orbit. And you can see here how SpaceX has dramatically reduced the cost. I remember when the small sat era began in the 2010s. Do you guys remember all these startups that were starting to build like little small sats and put them up to do imaging and comms and stuff? When this took off, it was about $10,000 a kilogram to put a small sat into space or to put material into space. And then SpaceX has dropped the cost to the point that it's now close to $1,000 a kilogram. So a 10x reduction in cost in just the last decade or so. And that's why SpaceX just dominates the launch market. But Elon's always said that $1,000 a kilogram is too high, that his objective has been to get the cost down to $10 a kilogram. Because at $10 a kilogram, you could launch what some people estimate is needed to get to Mars, which is about 500,000 tons of material and people to set up a colony on Mars. And it actually becomes feasible to get 500,000 tons of material at $10 a kilogram. So if you look at this new Starship and Starship Heavy booster, it's about 150, 200 ton payload. The booster holds, 3,400 tons of propellant. And the cost of that propellant is pretty low. It's only about $1 million in fuel. So then if you can get the cost of the booster and the Starship down enough, and you can reuse it enough, and you amortize the cost of making that device over the lifetime of the device, the cost per launch comes down. And that's what brings the cost per kilogram down. So the booster, there's a group called Payload, and they do estimates on this. So I won't speak out of turn in terms of like having inside knowledge. But the Payload has estimated that Starship and the booster cost about $90 million today. And they think that they have a path to getting it down to $35 million. So if you can reuse that thing 10 times, that's a $3.5 million cost per launch, plus $1 million for fuel. You could easily see, and this thing can launch 200 tons. That's how you start to get to $10 a kilogram. over the next couple of years. But it was critical to be able to reuse that heavy booster. And that's what Elon just demonstrated, is we can actually catch that heavy booster, refuel it, and launch it an hour later. And if you can do that over and over again, you're spending $10 a kilogram to put material into space. You can get fuel into space and then get those starships to fly off to Mars and deliver all this material, including setting up a base that would allow you to actually make more fuel on Mars, because everything we need to make fuel is on Mars. So it's the beginning of the next series of really important milestones that'll hopefully get humanity onto Mars. It was just so amazing to see it come together.
Yeah.
The economics are legit. I mean, this is like 1,000x reduction in cost. It's incredible.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. And they're going to do some, I guess, new stuff with Starlink, some even lower Earth orbit satellites that go even faster and have less latency. So that's going to be super exciting.
Starlink's apparently, I mean, I know everyone here is a shareholder in SpaceX, but Starlink's running at 4 million subs right now. That's like $100 a month, 4 million subs. And if you do the math, I mean, how many people have ISPs that are slower than Starlink, right? How many people have cell phone providers that they're paying roughly the same amount that aren't as good as Starlink? If we can get satellite to phone and you can get Starlink more broadly available, this could be 100 million subscriber business. I mean, this could be
absolutely
one of the biggest businesses on the earth.
It could
Like,
be the
it's insane.
largest subscription business in the history of humanity. I think the largest ones right now are like Netflix, 250, Disney Plus, 150, Verizon, 100 million. So yeah, could be hundreds of millions of subscribers. It could
It's
even
just crazy.
be,
And
it could
we'll
be
look
the
back
first 500 million subscriber product in the world.
We could look back one day and be like, why did we run all this copper wire everywhere? Like,
well,
we don't need it.
Yeah, obviously,
It's
for
like
sure.
crazy.
Especially if it can
Like,
get
it would be
to
like crazy
phones.
that we were like ever. I mean, the whole nutty thing about this past week, it's like we could look back one day and be like, why did we ever drive cars, and why do we ever have copper wire laid all over the earth to like move internet signals around? This efficiency gain that's going to be realized over the next decade is just incredible. Just incredible.
Chamath, any thoughts on the Robo Van or the Cyber Cab, the Model 2, I guess some people are calling it, but it's, the Cyber Cab specifically not calling it number 2 and doesn't have a steering wheel or pedals. I would have bought 2 of those immediately if it had a steering wheel and
So
pedals. I want to
beautiful.
drive it. Yeah. It looks like the hybrid of like a Model Y and the Cybertruck. So I kind of really love the aesthetics of it.
So
But-
beautiful.
Yeah, you like it?
My reaction was actually, I don't know, just seeing these releases now over 10 or 15 years plus of knowing him, nothing. It's I guess it's like not that surprising. Maybe it's weird to say, like, I just expect him and his teams to figure it out. Like, they're just all so good. And the thing to remember, it's not just him that's incredible, but he attracts a kind of technical and operational wonder kind people.
For sure.
And that's just a really special thing. So I had that reaction, which was I was really proud and happy for them.
For the team, yeah, for sure.
For the team and for him. These guys are like incredibly fearless. Fail bigly, right?
Yeah.
If you're gonna
Big
fail,
time.
fail bigly.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that I thought was crazy was how many people were trying to dunk on him this weekend. And
Yeah,
that
it's
surprised me and
weird.
caught me off guard, because I think that they were personalizing a lot of anxiety that they are feeling through these companies' successes, which didn't make much sense to me.
Well, in fairness, he did hurt some people's feelings with posting of memes. So yeah, I mean, it makes no sense. Like, the guy's like going to save 30,000 road deaths a year in the United States with self-driving, and people are losing their minds over a couple of memes or who he's voting for president. I don't think you have to worry about that. You can just look at the products; they speak for themselves. Anything, Sachs? Any response on the Tesla front? Any thoughts on the bus or Optimus?
I mean, they're both very exciting products. I don't think I've got a lot to add.
Yeah, I love the bus, Freeberg. I think that thing could become like mobile homes are, ADUs, and you could just send them to.
Wait, can we buy them or no?
Well, no, not right now, but I think that might be, that's going to be a
put
big
all
question.
his kids in one.
I need it for all my kids.
Yeah.
Well, see, if this was a platform like the Mercedes Sprinter vans have become, that you see
Oh
a
my
lot in
God.
Europe, then
my God.
you could
Wow.
buy and empty one of these. It's got
I
enough
take
battery
one.
life
I
to
take
last
one.
a month. And then let's say you had your in-laws over and there was one that was set up as like a 1-bedroom. You could click on Airbnb or, Tesla B&B, press a button and the thing could drive to your driveway. You could rent it for a week and then it could leave. Or let's say 1,000 people or 10,000 people were displaced because of a hurricane, Freeburg. You could send 100,000 of these to the parking lots at Walmart, which typically does a good job in feeding people and getting them supplies after hurricanes, since those are so ubiquitous. You could put 100 of these in every parking lot and have a place for people who are fleeing natural disasters to stay. So I thought that was like the most compelling product of the whole thing for me, was the possibility of a sled, like a skiff that you could do anything you want with. Would be really exciting for society. So congratulations to the team. And it's going to take a while, but I could see them having that robo
Also,
taxi.
I think congrats to Omid. He just got promoted.
I saw that. Yeah, he's in charge of all AI.
I think he's in charge of all manufacturing and sales in North America.
Oh, okay. Well, there it is.
So shout out to Omid Afshar. Yeah.
I mean, listen,
guys, I have big news. I just bought my first Tesla.
Oh, you did? Did you go with a Plaid Model S?
Model S Plaid, yeah.
Yeah, that's.
I test drove it for
car.
2 weeks and sold itself.
And are you using the FSD? I use FSD every day.
I use FSD and it was like really impressive. So
super impressive.
I've tried Tesla a couple times over the years and I never really worked for me. The quality just didn't feel like given what I had before, the car wise.
You were an Audi guy, right?
But Audi guy, yeah. Always loved
Audi
Audis.
guys are
and so
guys. Yeah, that's like
anyway,
a thing, right?
it's a big milestone. I thought the FSD was the selling, and then the speed on the Plaid is just insane. It's better than my RS7. Like it's incredible.
With all of my Teslas, I put it in chill mode because when it's in that Plaid mode or whatever, like coffee goes flying.
It's my favorite. I love it. I get on
but if you have passengers, the kids in the back seat will hit like literally nauseous because it's too fast. You got to be careful with the passengers there. It's so fast.
It was awesome. Awesome.
All right. Well, there you have it. Robo taxi story. We didn't get to it last week. We almost put the show back a day or two just to do it. In other news, Uber is exploring a bid to purchase Expedia. Breaking news. This was dispelled as we got here on the show. They said this was like very preliminary third-party talks and that there's no serious talks going on about this. Financial Times reported that advisors were trying to look at if a deal structure would be possible between Uber and Expedia. Expedia's got a $20 billion market cap. They popped 8% on the news, obviously. Uber, on the other hand, trading at $170 billion market cap or so. That dropped 3%. If you didn't know, Dara was the CEO of Expedia from 2005 to 2017. He's still on the board. And it looks like this was a trial balloon. Uber's two biggest businesses, rides and Uber Eats, but they also do freight and train bookings. Dara's been pretty clear he wants to create a super app like you have in China or some other markets. Expedia's got a lot of cool products, hotels.com, Orbitz, Travelocity, and I think the most interesting one, Freeburg, you and I were talking about this, is VRBO, Vacation Rental by Owner. It was like Airbnb before Airbnb existed. And if you look at this chart, since Dara left, the Dara effect, Expedia has gone exactly sideways. The revenue has grown modestly. What do you think of this deal? Chamath, I'll just go right to you with this one since you like to...
Stupid.
Stupid. Okay. There you have it, folks. Reason number one, it's stupid. And reason number two, it's stupid.
I mean, this is a $20 billion market cap business. You probably have to pay a control premium of 50%. So the question is, if you were going to spend $30 billion today in the public markets, what would you spend it on? And I think the most important lens that you have to use to answer that question is, what reinforces a moat that I have while also being inoculated from the risks of AI? And I cannot think of a more fragile business model than the UI layer on top of widely available data. So the problem that Expedia has is the same that Booking and a bunch of these other folks have, which is that the principal heartbeat of the company, flight information and other things, are licensed to them by third parties. And so what they are is a UI and a front door. I think it's way too early in the evolution of AI to know that that's safe. And in fact, I think a more reasonable assumption is that those things are pretty fragile. And part of what may explain the doldrums of the stock is that I think people are anticipating a world where, for example, I don't know if you saw, but Perplexity launched something this week. It's just in test mode. They whitelisted me into it, but it's basically a checkout concept. So you tell Perplexity what you would like it to buy, and then it will go and complete the transaction for you. So in the example of flight bookings, you could go directly to United because Perplexity will just show you all of the flights. They'll show you the exact prices, and then it'll go and execute that for you with your payment method. In a world that looks like that, where these companies have the money to pay for the data feeds, the existing v1.0 generation UIs, I think, are in trouble. So it would just be a very bad capital allocation decision. Now, that's okay to get things wrong, but not for $30 billion wrong. You can probably do it for a couple $100 million wrong, or maybe even $1 billion wrong, because you can absorb that as a $150 or $60 billion company. But $30 billion is too big of a price to pay for that kind of risk.
I would agree with you. And there's other things they could buy, like WeRide or Pony AI and a bunch of these AI companies that are doing self-driving. So why not double down on that? Freeberg, the one thing you and I talked about was
If you're looking for a house, you should be looking for a mortgage.
You could mortgage in the dark.
Or know the steps with Better.